Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard, welcome back, welcome home. Fully and completely dependent on where you are in relation to this week, these messages, this channel, these energies, which have a lot to say, clearly. My ears are absolutely ringing. This is the week of April the 18th through the 24th for 2022. And we're just going to hop right in, okay? So, Monday, there are some really big movements early in the day. Mercury in Taurus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus, right? So, this is about shocking expression or illuminating, right? Venus in Pisces sextiles Uranus in Taurus. So this is about allowing that shocking communication to recreate your sense of what it is that you desire. And then the Sun in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. So your identity will be attached to whatever those shifts and changes are. We have a moon in Scorpio, so that's demanding your presence and depth, your magnetism and your amplification, your willingness to step into union with things that maybe in other circumstances would not be so welcome. However, on Monday, the 18th of April, they are. The moon in Scorpio makes a square to Saturn. It trines the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, sextiles Pluto, and then quincunx to the Sun before sliding into Sagittarius by bedtime. Here's the thing. Presto, abracadabra, eureka, right? Aha. We are not getting any cards, are we? It's okay. We're patient. The key here is that you're under no obligation to be consistent, right? You get to change whenever you want, as often as you want, whenever new information presents itself to you and your alignment asks you to shift, you get to shift. And in fact, your only obligation is to shift in alignment with your alignment, right? Recalibrate as needed, express as yourself. And that's it. That's as simple as it needs to be. That is how you work your magic. And there's nothing wrong with that. On Tuesday, the moon in Sagittarius squares Mars, trines Chiron, makes a quincunx to Uranus, and then the sun moves into Taurus. Of course. And then that moon squares Venus, right? So this is Taurus season, right? We go from the blaze to the bricks, right? We want foundation. We want hello. We want sensual. We want solid. Wow. We want stable. We want safe, right? And the key here is that because this is Taurus, right, ruled by Venus, what we really want is that sense of home, what feels like home. That is our castle. And as we move the sun into Taurus, and then later that day, we have the moon squaring Venus. Here's the deal. It's okay, Sag Moon, to set yourself on fire as long as you mean it, right? As long as you mean it, as long as it is your desire that is driving you to strike that match, light that blaze, light it. It's fine, right? That's how kilns work, right? That's how that deep baking oven for pottery and bricks and things like that work to take that magical clay and create something lasting. So if you gotta light the fire, but know why you're doing it. On Wednesday, Okay, so Wednesday, the Sag moon, right, squares Mercury and Jupiter and Neptune, and sextiles Saturn before a late night move into Capricorn. So here's the deal. This is kind of a shiny ADHD distraction squirrel kind of day, right? It's a day that you might get spun up in some jealousy or petty or illusion. You might be just kind of chasing your own tail, right? You might have a hard time getting shit done. You might have a hard time finding clarity. And if that's the case, just let it be, right? Sometimes you just have to give in to the energy by bedtime when that moon moves into Capricorn. Holy you'll feel more grounded. By the time you wake up on Thursday, you will feel much more grounded. On Thursday, that Capricorn moon trines the sun in Taurus. So earthy and beautiful. That Capricorn moon sextiles. Wow, y'all really, come on. Sextiles Mars and squares Chiron and then trines Uranus. Here's the deal. It is a day for woo, like that, right? See you over there. Thank you. Wow. Wow. This is a big week, y'all. Anyway, it is a day of whew, right? It is a day where you can get shit done. It is a day where you feel more confident in who you are and what you are doing. Don't doubt yourself and don't doubt your function. You can count on feeling much more grounded today, being Thursday. You can count on being able to carry that grounded sense forward within your aligned self, right? Um, and being able to shift or change in any ways that is necessary to support that. On Friday, the 22nd, the moon is in Capricorn, right? So this is solid feeling energy. This is about accomplishing, right? It's about getting things done. So we have a sextile to Venus and Pisces. We have a sextile to Jupiter and Neptune. We have a trine to Mercury. And then we have a conjunction to Pluto. So here's the deal. Boss it up, right? Feel yourself. Be in that flow, right? Be aware and mindful of what you are doing, and be aware and mindful of what you are saying, and be aware and mindful of how you are feeling. You have access to all of the tools today. You have access to all of the tools today, right? Now, here's what I want to tell you. That late night conjunction of the moon and Pluto. Take a moment Friday night to reflect before bed and figure out what you are feeling in terms of how you're feeling yourself in flow or out of flow, right? Really have that moment with yourself about what you're doing and what you're saying and how you're feeling. Again, you have all the tools. Do a little bit of trajectory checking, right? We like to be in this course plotted and laid in mode, but sometimes, wow, sometimes you have to check your course. This is a day to do that. The energy is great for that. On Saturday, the moon moves into Aquarius and then squares the sun. So other than that, it's a pretty quiet day. Mercury is conjunct the North Node. So again, we're pulling out our magic wands, right? We are thinking in terms of bigger, wider, deeper, broader, more in line with the collective. Where do you fit in to the collective? And here's the deal. Answer that question. Where are you seeing yourself as fitting into the collective? Answer that question because it holds the key to your future. in a very practical, tangible, and real world sort of way. So acquaint yourself with that answer, whatever it is to you. Where do you fit in to the wider agenda in terms of bigger, wider, deeper, broader, more, right? How can you further your own vision in terms of and in alignment with whatever your vision is for the collective at large? On Sunday, the 24th, right, the Aquarius moon is going to make an aspect to Chiron and then square Uranus. And then Mercury in Taurus, square Saturn and sextiles Neptune. And that moon is going to conjunct Saturn and square Mercury. Here's the deal. That overnight sextile to Chiron gives you the option to be in your power, to let your mantra on Sunday be healthy, healed, whole, right? Or the opposite, right? You get to make that choice. Whatever it is, remember that if you tell the story in the morning, you're probably going to keep telling it. So be mindful, right? And if you're telling that healthy, heal, the whole story, please make sure that you act on it, right? Be in expression of it. And whatever languaging you're going to use, right? We're talking about Mercury and Taurus, right? So I have an analogy I use with clients that is about speaking typewriter, right? Sometimes we just speak typewriter, we speak very plainly. And then there are people who speak curlicue, right? And either language is okay, but here's the deal. Oh, all right. Wow, this is the same one we got last week, guys. Boy, I like that. Whatever you're speaking, make sure that you're committing to it, right? Your narrative is your reality. So knowing that you can change that, right? And the keywords of this week really are about intuition and fearlessly moving forward, right? It's about being brave and impulsive and understanding that you have the power to shift and change your reality simply by deciding to do that. So let's talk a little bit more. So we've got Monday the 18th, right? We talked about this as being that abracadabra day with all those big, really, big shifts and changes available with those big aspects, and about being under no obligation to be consistent. Look, we've got the Emperor, we've got the Eight of Swords. The Emperor, he is under no obligation to be consistent with anyone except himself. You see what a badass he is in this card. And then the Eight of Swords, here's the deal. She's only bound by her belief of where she is, right? She could easily escape these swords, these ideas. So if you need to shift or change your belief in order to be your alignment, right? So you can be bound by your beliefs that you need to be consistent with something external to you, or you can structure your reality around the fact that you are expressing in your fullness all the time, simply because you're aligned, right? Abracadabra, it is just that simple. On Tuesday, this is a Taurus season day, right? Let's talk about this. We talked about going from bricks to blaze, right? And setting yourself on fire if you mean it. So let's talk about this. We've got the Four of Cups and we have death. The Four of Cups, right, is this card of boredom. It's a card that is disinclined to take what is being offered, right? It's kind of like the sad sack card, like, yeah, I got a rock, like that kind of attitude. Like, no matter what the universe is going to give me, I'm not going to be happy with it. So we have the death card here. Again, talking about set yourself on fire if you mean it, right? You can sit here and sad sack. You can take that Taurus energy and just sit there and let life happen around you. But Taurus energy is heart ruled, right? Taurus energy looks for shift, it looks for change, it looks for ways to create, not just from, but through and as your heart's desire. So wherever you want your life to be, in contrast to where it is, right? This is that card of yet. You can transform this, right? Absolutely. You can transform that guy into this guy. all it takes is putting down your nonsense, right? Allowing your beliefs to shift and change and transform into something different. In order to get from A to B, you have to be willing to let go of whatever you're holding on to there. On Wednesday, we have the Empress. Hello. Again, and she is clarified by the Hierophant, which is the card of beliefs, right? It's other people's beliefs. So we talked about this as being that ADHD day, right? Where you might get caught up in a little bit of jealousy. You might get caught up in a little bit of pettiness. I mean, it's okay. Sometimes you can't get shit done. The Empress says, whatever you're planting, though, be mindful because your beliefs are the seeds, right? The Hierophant is about beliefs, it's about structure, it's about constructs, things that are outside of yourself. And the Empress is having that power to put everything that is within into motion and take those seeds from the external world and create them as fully ripened and ripening ideas. And so, mindfulness, when it comes to what you're choosing to believe, where your structure is, right? If you're distracted, go with the distraction, see where it leads, right? See if it's really your distraction. The key about the Hierophant is always that you have the keys. You have the keys to shift and change it, even if you just have to let it be, because this beautiful energy is coming in for you. She's looping back to the shifts and changes that were asked of you on Monday, right? Expressing as yourself, not being consistent. Well, if you're looking for clarity, perhaps the key is to not look so hard, right? To let it come to you instead, to trust your intuition and your abundance and your sense of expectation, right? And by expectation, I don't mean like I'm limiting the universe, but that serendipitous expectation, just knowing that your resources are always provided for. And then later in the evening, as that moon moves into Capricorn, that beautiful earth energy, you just welcome it, right? On Thursday, this is that day of whew, right? Not doubting yourself or your function, of being grounded, right? Able to carry that groundedness forward in alignment. So we have the Fool. The Fool is that beautiful card of leaps of faith, right? Taking whatever step is necessary in the journey fearlessly, fearlessly forward, following your intuition. He is the embodiment of the energy of this week. And then we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is about really clarifying your inspirations, right? We can talk about it as being a little bit contentious. We can talk about it as kind of like infighting or holding postures. That's real, but it's also about clarifying your passions, right? Allowing yourself to kind of sift through and sort out your own inspiration, your own heart's desire, in order for you to know what you're going to carry forth in alignment, right? And then allow that to be what you're carrying on your back, right? To be your ability to move forward. Did I really skip to? Okay, we're going to leave that there. And then we're going to, wow, that's really interesting. Did y'all see that? Nobody told me. I see how you are. Okay, so anyway, Friday, we're talking about Moon in Capricorn, really bossing it up and feeling yourself in that flow. And we've got the Sun. Look, there is no more boss card in the whole deck than the Sun. That is lovely about how you feel and what you're doing and what you're saying. The Sun is that beautiful expansion, knowing that you have all of the tools and knowing what inflow is, what it feels like, and how you're in command of that flow. And we have the Six of Swords. That's beautiful. Look at that, following that up. Six of Swords is about transition, right? Six of Swords is about moving from a state of emotional turbulence or turmoil or confusion to something calmer, to something better, right? We talked about, literally said the words, you have all the tools, right? This is a facilitated transformation. So, again, bossing it up, right? Again, you have trying to Mercury. So as you're in expression of whatever it is that you're feeling, knowing that your tools are there for you allows you to do that reflection that we talked about before bed, really kind of gauging where you are in flow. Saturday. Abracadabra, right? We talked about it, bigger, wider, deeper. Where do you fit in? Where do you fit in? And answer the question. Here's the deal. The devil's about attachments. It's about 3D attachments. This is a higher vibration of the Lover's card. So this is about what are you attached to, right? And again, because we have the moon in Aquarius, this is that bigger, wider, deeper, more, broader, better kind of day. And so, what are you holding on to? What are you juggling, right? What are you juggling in terms of your resources, your function? Where do I fit in? Where do you fit in? Well, guess what? Where you have fit in the past might not be where you want to fit in now. You may want to change that. And again, we talked about answering that question. Mercury is conjunct the North Node, right? Pull out your magic wand and answer the question because it holds the keys to your very tangible, practical, real future trajectory, right? Don't move forward from what you're doing now. Move forward from where your alignment is, where your heart's desire is, where you feel this sense of emotional stability, right? And on Sunday, we talked about how the overnight sextile to Chiron is going to be really the harbinger of your energy for the day. So we have Five of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, very interesting pairing. Do you feel like you're being neglected, left out in the cold? Do you feel like you're missing something? Do you feel like somehow the world has turned its back on you, right? Or do you feel powerful in your own passion, in your own heart, in your own expression, in your own inspiration? Do you feel inspired and passionate? If you can claim healthy, happy, whole, healed, right? Keep on telling that story. If you are telling yourself that you're lacking, if you believe yourself to be left out or missing something or needing something, how can you shift your perception, right? How can you say, what is this teaching me? What am I learning as a result of not having a certain thing? How is it allowing me to be in expression of something in a different way, right? Again, we talked about this as whatever you're speaking, commit to it, right? Your narrative is your reality, and you can shift and change it if you want. If you want to. The key this week is do the thing, y'all. Do the thing. It's about following your intuition and being in that fearlessly moving forward mode, in so much as you are unafraid to, you're more afraid to not do the thing, right? Because you're so inspired, because you're so passionate, because you know, or these two right here, this is our beautiful, I mean, divine pairing. It's gorgeous. And then you have the Fool, the Sun, and the Devil, these big giant majors. You've got the Hierophant and Death asking you, shift and change your beliefs. Just jump, right? Leap, and the net will appear. And everything will be beautiful, right? Everything as you transition will be provided for you. Your resource senses, you have it all. You know exactly how to juggle it. You know how to balance it, right? We're coming out of that week of balance, right? So what are you holding on to, and what are you willing to dive into? Face first living, right? Or right, sad sacking. We talked about that, right? We've got that option. We have the option to hold on to something that's holding us back. We have the option to anchor in a present that is not contented or satisfying. And every parent, right, we can stay in our beliefs currently that are bringing us pain and misery and suffering, or we can step into our badass bossness. We can continue to sad sack, or we can shift and change our beliefs. We can maintain a rigid attachment to structure, or we can understand that we are. Not only are we the structure, but that the structure doesn't even exist. We can argue and create bones of contention, or we can just say, yeah, it'll be fine. My heart's in this. I got this, right? Um, we can say, it's so much work. Look, this guy, he's facilitating your motion, right? This is facilitated motion. Somebody is not only allowing you to be in flow, but they're paddling the boat for you, for Pete's sake. The universe wants you to succeed. The universe wants you to examine your attachments and witness where you can balance, where you can level up, where you can widen your stance and succeed in every turn, where you can literally step into this full bloom of sensual passion and just gorgeous selfness, or you can keep walking over the same ruts you've already walked over. What are you going to do about it? Let's talk about completion, right? Beautiful Ouroboros. Absolutely beautiful. It's so gorgeous. We did have it last week. We're going to read it again. The essence. All things have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is the nature of life. The seed, the flower, and the fruit. Hello. Yes, yes, in fact it is. And of all human relationships. Completion suggests the fullness of one moment and the need to transform an old form into a new one. Again, what are we shifting and changing? What are we leaving behind and what are we stepping into? That's up to you. The invitation. You have finished a cycle. We've got a 9 here as well. You have finished a cycle, and there is no more growth or benefit from hanging on to something old. In regard to relationships, it's time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future. In your ventures, it's time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebration. In the end of summer, the fruit is always ripe, right? Let's read that again. Completion is a time for celebration. In the end of summer, the fruit is always ripe. Clinging to the old form will only bring decay. Hello. Okay. When the fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. You know that it's time to move on, yet you're reluctant. Do not be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. Remember that you are responsible for your actions, not the actions of others. Mourn what is lost so you can move on. Do not be sad. Be like the sun at midday that shines brightly, neither longing for the sunrise nor dreading the dusk. Listen up, y'all. You got it? I don't even feel like I need to. Be brave, be impulsive, be inspired, be intrepid, right? Give in to your heart's desires. Follow your flights of fancy. Allow this to be a reality changing week for you. You can make any energetic a reality changing week. This, however, is a week to take chances. It's a week to follow your intuition. It's a week to allow yourself and your life to fearlessly move forward. What you do depends on where you end up, right? So, what are you going to do? It's a great question. I wish you giant blessings and an amazing week. Yeah, catch you soon. Big blessings.